Hey, I'm Pastor Keith. We are the 412. Maybe you've been joining us on Wednesdays for a while. Maybe you have once, maybe you never have. What this video is going to do is just kind of talk about who we are as the 412 and what we are as the 412. No matter what it was that brought you to us today, we're glad you're here with us. And we're going to spend the next few minutes just going over that stuff. Pretty basic, the 412 is a youth group for 6th to 12th graders and middle school, high school students. We meet at Res Life Church in Big Rapids across from Menards, because if you're from Big Rapids, everybody knows where Menards is. And we meet on Wednesday nights. So we open our doors at 6 o'clock. We kick off our service at 7 o'clock. We have our own 412 worship band that comes up and does live worship music every week to kick off our service. Then myself or one of our 412 leaders will do a little teaching. And after that, we do a small group, which is broken down by grade level. Just talk about whatever topic it was that we talked about that night. It gives you a chance to ask questions, to hear some feedback from your peers, to ask them some questions, to talk to our awesome 412 leaders. And then we try to wrap everything up around 8:30 on Wednesday nights. So the main question we usually get is, what's with the name 412? What is that? If you're checking this out because you're hoping it was like a math club, sorry, but I can guarantee you're probably going to have at least as much fun as you would at a math club. Some of you are like, wow, that's such a ringing endorsement for the 412. But 412 is from a Bible verse, and that's what we base everything we do here is off this Bible verse. And it's 1 Timothy 4:12, and it says, "Don't let anyone think less of you because you are young. Be an example to all believers in what you say, in the way you live, in your love, your faith, and your purity." So this verse is something that we believe about you, and more importantly, that God believes about you. Looking at this verse and knowing God believes it about you, you're the next generation of His church. That's what it's all about. So this is who we, the 412, are. So first thing we're going to hit on is, as the 412, we are young. So as members of the 412, or you're checking out, want to maybe come join us on Wednesday nights and see what the 412 is all about. Coming on Wednesdays, we're young. Some of you, you're the youngest members of the global church right now. But that doesn't disqualify you from doing great things for God right here, right now in your life. The younger you are when you start living for God and following Jesus, the more time you have to make an impact on the world around you, to show His love, to do things for those that are in your world and in your influence. So I just want to say, don't let your age discourage you. That's that we are young. We say that with pride, because God has a track record of doing amazing things through young people. Like I said, it does not disqualify you, and He wants to continue that track record working through you. So the second thing is, we are unashamed. So as followers of Jesus, it does nobody, including us, any good if we just keep that a secret. I'm not going to tell anybody, I'm just going to keep it a secret that I'm a follower of Jesus. It doesn't do anybody any good. That's not what we're supposed to do. That's not how the gospel is supposed to be experienced. So in Romans 1:16, this verse hits it right on the head. It says, "For I'm not ashamed of the gospel, because it is the power of God that brings salvation to everyone who believes." So we're called, as followers of Jesus, to share the good news, share the gospel. That's what the good news is, the gospel, to share that. And that starts with being unashamed to be a follower of Jesus. And when you're living for Jesus, His light, it's inside of you, it's inside of us. So don't hide it, shine that, and make the world around you a better place by showing them the love of Christ. So next, we are examples. So that word we just read, that verse in 1 Timothy, it tells us to be examples to other believers. So this means that even though you're young, and in the world's eyes, they see you as young, you can be an example to people your age, and you can also be an example to people decades older than you. There's no limit there. God can and wants to work through you and do awesome stuff. So we say this, and I always want to preface this and say, we don't do this to brag on ourselves and to draw attention to us. Everything we want to do, we want to point people to Jesus. We want to point people to Him. We want to glorify God through the way we live and what we do. So we believe that you have the power as the next generation of the church to do that, because we've seen the impact that our 412 students have had over the years that we've been doing this ministry, and we've seen them changing the world at a young age. And then last but not least, as the 412, we're not perfect, but we serve a Savior who is, was, and always will be. Guys, being a follower of Jesus, it's not about being perfect. That's not what it's about. Sometimes that gets thrown out there and it's like you have to strive for perfection. It's not what it's all about having it all together and having everything figured out and having all the answers. What it's about is looking to Him and relying on Him for everything that we need in our life, putting our trust in Him. So hopefully when I say that allows you to just take a deep breath and you're like, yeah, man, that's a relief. Realizing I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to act perfect. Because Jesus, He was the only person who ever was and ever will be perfect. So we believe and we want to show others that it's only through Him, it's only through having a relationship with Jesus that we can be saved, and it's only through Jesus Himself that we can be made whole. And we do that by being real, by being honest, by being open with each other, learning from our own mistakes, our own sins, owning up to them, asking for forgiveness, and just trying to make the world around us a better place by being as much like Christ as we can. Because Jesus, He's the ultimate example for our life, and we should strive to be like Him as much as we can, but realistically, just know deep down that we're going to need His help. We're going to mess up. We're going to sin many times in our life. And because we're not perfect, we got to rely on Jesus. So it's a release that we don't have to be, and at the same time, it just points us to Him, that we need His grace, we need His forgiveness. So I hope this video has given you a good idea of who the 412 is, what we're about. So we're going to end this video right here, just like we end every single 412 event. Every Wednesday night that we're together, everything we do outside of this place, we do this. So if you've been around, you've heard this. If you haven't been around, this is new to you. But this is how we do it. We say, we are the 412. We are young. We are unashamed. We are examples. And we're not perfect, but we serve a Savior who is, was, and always will be. We'll see you guys on Wednesday nights.